Coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
It's Friday, and we're live. Welcome to MediaPlex Friday Live. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Matt Flood, greeting you with a warm welcome and walking you through the news of the day. Cannabis legalization is all the rage at the moment, so let's talk about it and its effect on Windsor. That green stuff became legal on Wednesday, October 17th. Many people across the country and in Windsor celebrated as Prohibition ended. Cannabis smokers have been given the all-clear to light up wherever tobacco products and vaping is permitted. However, if re-elected, incumbent Mayor Drew Dilkins plans to restrict where cannabis can be consumed here in Windsor, such as at bus stops. Meanwhile, local alcohol servers are concerned about facing new liabilities about cannabis intoxication, as their alcohol training service is not yet updated to include cannabis. And as much as I'd like to give Mary Jane a rest, we have more news on the subject matter coming up, with Glenn Fu finding out more about the recreational herb.
On October 17, recreational pot will be legal. Some residents support this legalization. They think marijuana has been used for medical purpose for many years, to manage pain and other disorders. Windsor resident Jordan Torres says people are ready for it.
It's already very accessible, so in my opinion there's no real point for it to be criminalized.
Yes, I do support the legalization of marijuana because I believe that it is a medicinal product that helps a variety of individuals who are suffering from a variety of different diseases. We're a nation of pills and microwaves, and I find that something that grows out of the ground is more natural than something created in a laboratory.
On the other hand, some residents worry about legal weed might bring more social problems to this city. Miranda Hanna worries that some people might overuse it and damage their bodies and minds.
I don't know that I would also be confident enough to say that I'm for it. I can see that there could be some harm that comes with misusing anything, but I don't know that it needs to be illegal or that making it illegal really prevents it from being harmful.
Data from the government's cannabis legalization website shows over 60% people worry about how, where, and who can buy and process cannabis in the province. They also worry it could impact teenagers. The legal age to buy cannabis in Ontario is 19. I'm Glenn Fu for MediaPlex News.
With the amount of social divide between those for and against weed, Cody Roussan and Travis Conant went out on the street to ask some Windsorites how they feel.
Personally, I come from the Border Services program at the college, and I do not agree with the legalization of marijuana. I believe that it is going to cause more criminality, and it's going to cause more of a problem at the border, so I don't agree with that.
If you want, you guys are okay with smoking at home, right? There are certain, regulations set by the Ontario government. So if you guys can read that, that's really good.
It is a big change for our entire country. As Windsor Police Service, our number one priority is community safety. And what message we're getting to our public is a strong reminder that impaired driving has always been illegal.
Job opportunities are opening up as Lowe's opens up its second set of doors in Windsor. The new location is on 7350 Catherine, near Tecumseh Mall on Windsor's East End. Opening up in the former Rona, Lowe's marketing director says the new business will have more to offer in terms of smart homes and state-of-the-art appliances. The second branch of the home improvement store will be hiring 75 full-time employees and around 80 seasonal part-time positions. So if you or someone you know needs to find work, this may be the place to go. Now we're going to toss it over to Nora Armijo-Sinnott for our weekly weather report. Nora?
Thanks, Matt. Today is Friday, and while it's going to be cold with a high of 7 degrees, it will be sunny. Saturday is looking warmer at a higher degree of 10 degrees, but we are also going to be getting a few showers. Finally, on Sunday, it's dropping back down to 7 degrees and returning to being mainly sunny. That's your weather for this weekend. Back to you, Matt.
Thank you, Nora. With some rain this weekend, you might want to just stay inside and watch ESPN all weekend. Cody Roussan has the sports scoop to keep you caught up.
Thanks, Matt. I'm Cody Roussan, and I've got some sports news. Former Windsor Spitfire Eric Wellwood has been hired as the new head coach of the OHL's Flint Firebirds. Wellwood is fresh off his short stint with the Windsor Lancers men's hockey team as an assistant coach. The Firebirds have lost all 9 games that they have played so far this season. The University of Windsor women's hockey team comes home tonight for their home opener. The Lady Lancers will be taking on the UOIT Ridgebacks. Puck drop is scheduled for 7:30 p.m. from the Capri Pizzeria Rec Complex. You can catch all the action live on OUA.TV. St. Clair Saints players went home with OCAA honors. Michaela Roulette won for Softball Player of the Year and Kevin Dion for Baseball Player of the Year. Speaking of baseball, the Boston Red Sox defeated the Houston Astros last night to advance to the World Series. They await either the LA Dodgers or the Milwaukee Brewers. The two combat tonight with first pitch scheduled for 8:39 p.m. The Dodgers currently lead the series 3-2. Win, and they play the Red Sox for it all. Lose, and we see a Game 7. That's all I've got. Thanks. Back to you, Matt.
Today we're going to be talking pets, Point Pelee, produce, and more this Friday Live. If your joints feel a little pain, it might be the weather or aging. Trish Kudu went out to find out a way to deal with at least one of those problems.
Who says getting old can be fun? Life After 50 held their 5th annual event with the purpose of educating seniors about wellness, community resources, health choices, and fitness through interactive workshops. Susan Poirier, the organizer, said there are different twists this year.
This year's twist is we have active exercise classes going on, so we have 4 different fitness classes going on today.
The event had a booth sponsored by the Windsor Police, who are trying to spread awareness regarding potential fraud phone calls targeting senior residents of Windsor.
Community Services Branch would like everyone, and especially our seniors in the community, to know that we are there to help them if they need some help, especially with the fraud that's going on, the phone call frauds. There's a lot of seniors that are on their own now. We want to make sure that they know that we're here to help and that we have numbers available to them if they need some information about what's going on locally.
The event was also attended by social workers and residents alike to receive information and resources to help their respective needs.
I'd like to achieve through this event different resources for future clients, as well as more information for class as well, just to have a bit greater insight of what's out here that's to offer.
The event was successful with people from different age groups contributing to it. I am Trisha Kundu, reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
Perhaps you just want to stay inside and relax this weekend. Maybe you're looking for a new video game to play. Jordan Ferris has more.
Treyarch released their 7th game in the Call of Duty series with Black Ops 4. The release of this game came with lots of anticipation from fans of the series, quickly becoming a success on Twitch.tv, a popular game streaming website where viewers watch others play. At its peak, the game has had over 250,000 viewers on the site and currently sits well above 100,000. The game dropped with 3 playable modes, with old ones like Zombies and Multiplayer returning, and an all-new game mode, Blackout. Blackout is an 88-player battle royale. At the beginning of the mode, all players begin by dropping from a helicopter to various places on the map. They then begin to pick up supplies such as weapons or medkits. As the match progresses, the map slowly gets smaller and smaller, and players are forced to engage each other in combat. To win? Well, it's simple. Outlive all your opponents and be the last man or team standing. Whether you play a little or you play a lot, Black Ops 4 is sure to appease any gaming twitch you may have. And with the recent cold front, no better excuse to stay indoors and just play. I'm Jordan Ferris, and this has been your Entertainment Minute.
With so many stores opening in the area, Jordan Ferris has more news about a company opening its doors for at least 50 new workers in Windsor.
The Detroit-based mortgage company Quicken Loans is opening up their first location in Canada, in the old fish market on the corner of Chatham Street West and Ferry Street. The 9,000 square foot office space will bring at least 50 new technology jobs into Windsor's downtown core. Quicken Loans will not be offering mortgages in Canada with this new building, but is using it as a base for tech recruiting.
While these jobs are in software and engineering sectors, the CEO of Quicken Loans, Dan Gilbert, says bringing their mortgage practices to Canada is not off the table. I'm Jordan Ferris with MediaPlex News Now.
Last weekend saw Point Pelee become a world of artistic expression. Lauren O'Brien has more.
Nature and art lovers alike gathered this weekend. Point Pelee National Park held Art of the Authentics, a 2-day event featuring artists and artisans demonstrating their craft and selling their goods. Celebrating their 100th year, Point Pelee offered free admission on Saturday, October 13th. Mike and Kathy Sinkovich of Kingsville, Ontario are avid Point Pelee visitors. They were glad they decided to come and check out the art.
We love the setting. We think it's a really cool idea. Yeah, definitely would be back.
Visitors got the opportunity to watch firsthand as artists is created on site. Vera Graham has considered herself an artist her entire life. In the past few years, she hasn't had the opportunity to go to as many events, but she made it a priority to come to Art of the Authentics.
Being outside for 2 days is just wonderful, and we had such wonderful weather. I couldn't ask for anything nicer. Even had a fire last night.
Visitors relaxed and enjoyed musical entertainment in the beautiful nature setting. For MediaPlex News, I'm Lauren O'Brien.
If you've been waiting patiently for some more sports news, we have you covered. Tate Harris was in the studio with Brett Barry to talk what it's like moving for junior hockey.
I'm Tate Harris, and this is 3 Minutes with Brett Barry. Brett, how you doing?
Good, how about you?
Good, good. Living the dream, bud.
Yeah, something like that.
So you came from Fenton, Missouri, all the way to Kingsville to play junior hockey. What made you make that choice?
I was looking for something a little different. I know there'd be kids from all around the world on this team, and I was really just trying to, go somewhere with hockey, so I thought it'd be fun to come up here to the home of hockey and see what I could do.
Definitely. And what have you enjoyed about the town of Kingsville or Canada itself so far?
It's very, I wouldn't say quiet, but it's, I feel like it's safer. You know, it's a good place to be. Kingsville's a nice, quiet town. You can find fun anywhere. Everyone's super nice up here, too.
Is Kingsville smaller or bigger than Fenton?
Smaller.
Smaller? Yeah, really, eh? Now, you said there's a lot of players coming from all over the world.
Yes.
I know you're not one of the Canadian players, but you're one of the ones that can speak English better. Have you ever had to help any of those European players that came on the team?
Definitely. I try my best to help them when I can because they just have trouble and they're afraid sometimes because they don't want to feel dumb, like, you know, when you don't understand what to do. So I try and sit down and correct them whenever I can and help them out through it as much as I can.
Now, is this your first year at junior?
Yes, it is.
How have you liked the junior lifestyle?
Oh, it's fun. Hockey every day is a dream. It really is. I love just focusing on it and trying to better myself.
Now the team's getting off to a hot start, 8-3. Why do you think they're finding so much success right now?
We have very skilled, fast players, and we're using all of our speed and our strengths to our advantages as much as we can right now.
Why do you think people from maybe Windsor should go out to Kingsville and maybe watch you guys?
Because we're just a fun team to watch. We're very energetic on the bench. You can hear us. We root for each other. We're very vocal. We like to try and get the people going, give them a bit of a show.
What have you found in your game? I think you have 14 points right now.
Yes.
What have you found in your game that's creating success for yourself?
Not trying to do too much. Staying within myself, doing what I know I can do, not trying to do over what I can expect of myself.
Is there a player you mimic your game after?
Maybe like Tarasenko a little bit. I feel like he's definitely a grinder, more of a goal scorer than me, but he's a grinder, great playmaker.
Now, I know you're a St. Louis Blues fan.
Yes.
Maybe just throw a prediction out there. What do you think they're going to do for this season?
I'd like to see them make them the playoffs. They usually do, off to a bit of a slow start, but I think they'll find their place here soon.
Awesome. And when is the next game for the Kingsville Kings?
It will be Friday.
Friday? Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Brett. That was Brett Barry of the Kingsville Kings. You can watch their stream online of the Kingsville Kings. I'm Tate Harris. This is 3 Minutes with.
If art is more your thing, Suraj Sasi was in the studio with Aaron Fateau from the Film Camp for Kids to find out what it is all about.
Hi, my name is Suraj Sasi, and this is 3 Minutes with Aaron Fateau. Hi, Aaron. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So for those of us who don't know about the Film Camp for Youth and Kids, can you tell us more about this?
So the Film Camp, it's a nonprofit that operates out of downtown Windsor.
We've been running for 6 years now. And we teach kids how to make movies, and we teach them all sorts of aspects of digital media and the arts. Usually the main program we do is summer camps, and we teach them everything from creative writing the screenplays. They write them themselves. They come up with the ideas themselves. We teach them how to film them. They act in them. We teach them acting and directing. We teach them editing. They use Final Cut to edit the movies together. So they make their own short films, and then we put them on YouTube so they get kind of a whole experience. Our first year we started with 1 2-week camp with about 25 kids, and this past summer we had over 110 kids, 9 straight weeks of camp, and we had various camps that covered all sorts of different topics.
So what programs do you have at the film camp?
We have a bunch of different programs. We do, so for example, during the summer we do not just the week-long film camps, we do French versions of the film camp. We do overnight film camps, but we also do visual arts camps and creative writing camps, animation, photography. We do a lot of different things, and then we also do weekend courses where we touch on topics like miniature model making and storyboarding and set design and all sorts of cool stuff.
Okay, so when does this run? Like, is it just in summer? Like the program just runs in summer? Or?
No, we actually, last year we started doing year-round programs as well, which is really cool. So we do weekend programs. Actually, starting this weekend, we have our first, it's the storytelling camp, or the storytelling weekend course. And then we have editing, and we have a bunch of different courses, 8 weeks of programs from now until mid-December. And the way those work is we have 2 consecutive weeks in a row. So they come from 12 till 4 in the afternoon on 2 consecutive Saturdays or Sundays in a row.
So with this, I'll ask you a last question about your up-and-coming event. Do you want to explain more about that?
Yes, so our upcoming event is the Rio Bowl-a-thon. It's a fundraiser where people, kids, adults, anyone can come and they can bowl. The idea is to raise pledge money, kind of like a walk-a-thon. And they can win prizes for scoring points by bowling. They can win points as teams or as individuals, and they can win points for raising pledge money. And also other fun things like team spirit awards. We encourage people, if they put together a team, to dress up in matching outfits, that kind of thing. So it should be a really fun event, and that's November 16th at Rev's Rose Bowl from 6 till 8 p.m.
Okay, that's all. Thank you so much, Aaron, for coming up.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Okay.
Think listening to that made you a film buff? Well, let's see how you compare to our own film buff.
Welcome to Rearview Mirror, and I'm your host, Nora Armijo Sinnott. As Halloween draws ever nearer, it's time to talk about the scary, the spooky, and the weird. Many well-known characters have been based on real people. It's well known that Bram Stoker's Count Dracula was inspired by real-life Romanian nobleman Vlad the Impaler. Today we'll be talking about movie villains whose real-life origin stories may surprise you. See if this sounds familiar. An 80s businessman with a blonde comb-over builds a chain of casinos with his name on them and later launches an ill-begotten political career. I am describing, of course, Biff Tannen from Back to the Future Part 2, but I'm sure it won't surprise you to hear that this movie villain was inspired by U.S. President Donald Trump. Trump has also made more recent parody appearances as a robot in Marvel's Spider-Gwen comic and as a puppet named Donald Grump on Sesame Street. We go next to Disney's Little Mermaid. You all know the sea witch Ursula. She's big, she's bold, and her eye makeup is certainly out of this world. But you may not know that Ursula's iconic look was inspired by a drag queen named Divine. Divine starred in many movies directed by John Waters, including the 1972 film Pink Flamingos. To give you an idea what his movies are like, this movie was given 0 out of 4 stars by reviewer Roger Ebert and described as not even a movie, but rather an object or just a fact. Divine was also once described by the New York Times as an unfunny hippo in drag. But hey, we all have our critics. So that's all I have for this week. Tune in next time for another episode of Rearview Mirror. I'm Nora Armijo-Sinnott. Stay spooky, everyone. Back to you, Matt.
If you still have an entertainment craving, Josie Richards is in the studio again to tell you the best flicks on Netflix to binge this weekend.
Thanks, Matt. Welcome to the best flicks on Netflix with your host, Josie Richards. As we get closer to the weekend, I know you all want nothing more than to kick back and relax. And what's a better way to relax than by lying on the couch and binge watching Netflix? That's where I come in. I'll be giving you a weekly recommendation on what I think are the best flicks on Netflix to watch. This week's show is Big Mouth, and it's got 2 whole seasons for you to binge on Netflix. Now, this animated comedy is all about kids, but it's definitely not for kids. The show, if you caught the message in the theme song, is all about preteen bodies going through changes known as puberty. Big Mouth follows a group of 7th graders who are all best friends. There's Nick, the late bloomer, Andrew and Jay, who are learning how to deal with their raging sexual hormones, and Missy and Jesse, who are learning how to cope with estrogen, running their emotions, and changing their bodily dimensions. The characters, with a little help from their hormone monsters, and yes, I mean the physical representation of one's hormones, must navigate this newly revealed sexual world and make choices for better or for worse. If being a comedic take on puberty isn't enough for you, here are 3 more reasons why I think you should tune in. 1. The nostalgia. If you're anything like me, going through puberty was an interesting and awkward time in your life. This show really brings you back to those days and will have you laughing about the whole ordeal as you watch what happens to the characters as they learn to deal with their hormones. 2. The body positivity. So often, we're bombarded in the media to look good and get toned and skinny, but Big Mouth has a way of celebrating all body types, which is really refreshing. And 3. The jokes. If it's not an awkward situation that has you rolling in tears, it'll be the dialogue between the hormone monsters and the kids, or maybe even a one-liner from Coach Steve. This show does not disappoint when it comes to funny. And there you have it. Tune into the best flicks on Netflix with me, your host, Josie Richards, next week for another recommendation. Back to you, Matt.
And now we'll send it over to Precious Alasa with your Celebrity Gist.
Thanks, Matt. Welcome to Celebrity Gist, and I'm your host, Precious Alasa. There is trouble in paradise as Cassandra Ventura and Sean John Cobbs, popularly known as Puff Daddy, ended their relationship after being together for 11 years. Cassie's rep confirmed to lovebiscott.com in a statement on Wednesday, October 17th, that the ex-lovers have indeed not been together for months. The news came shortly after Love Biscott reported that Diddy has been seeing model Jocelyn Chu. They were reported spotted together in Miami in late September and more recently attended Drake and Migos concert at Staples Center in Los Angeles on Friday, October 12. The rapper and the 26-year-old model follow each other on Instagram, and Cassie recently unfollowed him. A source tells Us Weekly that Diddy is still very much in love with Cassie, and this fling with Jocelyn will likely fizzle out. We're definitely watching the space to see if this is actually a fling or another 11 years that may lead to a lifetime relationship. While there is trouble in one paradise, there is celebration in another as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex officially announced to the public that they will be expecting their first child together. Meghan and Harry made this announcement during their Austria tour. They thanked the crowd for the warm welcome and went ahead to say they couldn't think of a better place to make the announcement. The royal lovebirds will be expecting their bundle of joy in spring of 2019. We genuinely cannot wait to see the beautiful baby. Congratulations to the royal family. And that's all we have for you today on Celebrity Gist. I'm your host, Precious Alasa. Back to you, Matt.
Thank you a lot, Precious. Now, I am here in the studio with Constable Amanda Allen from Crime Stoppers. Amanda, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How about yourself?
Absolutely fantastic. Good to have you in the studio again. So I'd like to go off once again. What is our crime of the week?
So unfortunately, this one is, we're taking it back to Monday, August 27th. Back in the summertime when it was warm and hot, we had a terrible homicide shooting scene. And we're looking for witnesses to come forward. Many people have come forward already, but this case is still unsolved. So think back 2:40 in the morning, you're out late, it's the 200 block of Olette, and there was a 20-year-old gentleman from the GTA Toronto area and a 19-year-old female who were both shot. And unfortunately, the young man succumbed to his injuries. And we're still looking for 2 suspects in that case. Windsor Police is looking for anybody who has not come forward yet to please call their major crimes branch if they're willing to speak with the police directly at extension 4830. Or if you want to remain anonymous, you can always do that with Crime Stoppers. Never give your name. You never have to go to court, and you could earn a cash reward if you have information that helps identify these 2 adult male suspects that were last seen fleeing on foot on Olette towards Chatham Street, right here in our neighborhood, unfortunately. So if anyone has information, 519-258-8477 is Crime Stoppers, or always online at catchcrooks.com. Not only this case, but we have so many other cases that we're looking for information on.
Okay. Well, thank you, Amanda. I'd like to thank you for your time coming in again. Thank you for the crime of the week. Well, thank you for tuning in. Friday Live is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism. Our production team consists of Ryan Percy and myself. This week we had contributions from Cody Roussan, Travis Conant, Jordan Ferris, Tate Harris, Trisha Kudu, Precious Alessa, Tomas Miko, Lauren O'Brien, Suraj Sasi, Nora Armijo Sinnott, Glenn Fu, and Josie Richards, along with a special thank you to Amanda Allen. I'm Matt Flood. Have a great weekend.